All right, you guys, guess what? Today we're talking about this guy right here. The Meike 50mm T2.1 lens. I got my hands on it. I'm going to start out with the loss leader. This thing's amazing. It also is going back, unfortunately. Got some financial issues, so I can't keep it. I really wish I could, because this thing is an amazing lens. So let's get right into it. So what is this? Well, first off, let's start with some of the basic stuff. Do me a favor, like, subscribe, follow me here on this channel. I'm trying to build this out for a little film community that I really hope to be getting back into. I've left for several years, now I'm coming back, and I'm coming back with some reviews, some unboxings. So again, like, subscribe, follow, see links down below. All right, so let's start off with some basic parameters. I love film, I love shooting, I love doing all that lighting, everything. That being said, I don't take a scientific approach to all these tests and things, for however you want to put it. I really just go by what feels good to me. So some people may be, oh, it has blah, 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 weird stuff. As long as it shoots well for me, that's the most important part. So now let's get started with the review. It is a very well built 50mm T2.1 EF mount. Its markings are very, very clear. In fact, I like the bright yellow scheme on it. It has traditional 0.8 pitch for follow focus and for aperture control. Currently, it is available in PL and EF mounts, but they are coming out with an RF, an E, and an L mount. So that's going to be really good. That's going to open up to the Sonys, to the Canon mirrorless, which may be another reason why, even though I do want to keep this lens and I have to send it back, that when the RF mount comes, I don't have to use the little included Canon RF to EF that came with my KOMODO. So we'll see. It has an 82mm thread head on it. What's nice is it's an 11 blade iris, so you get some really clean bokeh. You'll see it in some video coming up. 330 degree focus rotation, and it's fairly lightweight for what it is. So let's talk about some of the stuff that I really found good about this. The focus ring is super smooth. No real issues with that at all. It's lightweight. I love its low light performance. I was really impressed by it. It covers full frame sensor for the KOMODO. It's also a full frame sensor. I believe it's part of their full frame series. It has, just like I said, gorgeous bokeh. Very little chromatic aberration at its price point. Now, I'm not talking from a scientific, like, oh, we measured it and all this. From what I can visually see from my shooting style, I don't see much chromatic aberration. Shot the moon, shot some lights, and really didn't see much fringing on it at all. And it has really good color reproduction. So all of these are great. I found Meike when I had my, my Panasonic GH5, and I got their 16mm cine lens for the micro four thirds. Thing was solid, built well. Did it have problems? A little bit. I think the quality on this lens is exponentially. Meike has jumped a big amount of distance over their micro four thirds lens. Now, let's face it, there are some cons to all lenses. The aperture ring just didn't feel as dampened as it should have been, and a little bit with the focus ring too, but not nearly as much as the aperture ring. It is more expensive than the other Meike EF lens, which is the 35, by almost double. Now, what I found interesting today was I went out to Meike's website to get some of the more specific specs that I'm talking about, and Meike has both the 35 and the 50 at the $900 price point. I think it's $959. The Amazon price for the 35 is like $535. So I'm not quite sure what's going on there, why they're both priced at Meike at the near 1K mark. But that being said, it's still, in my opinion, well worth it for a $1,000 lens. In fact, It has really good clarity at all stops. We're going to talk about the Tokina 11 to 20, which is another cinema lens I got. It's a Cine Zoom. It blows out real quick when you open it wide open and you're overexposed. It seems like the Meike still blows out, but it saves some detail. And that may just be my own interpretation of it. Absolutely the best prime sub $1,000 lens. Now, I was going to say the best prime 50 millimeter lens. Until I test out the 35, I will say that this is definitely across the board. And in fact, I'll even go beyond the 1,000 range. This is better than any Rokinon I've seen. This is better than any zine I've seen. I think zines are coming in around $1,800. Some of the other knockoffs I've seen, I don't think that there's much out there that can compete at this for the sub $1,800 price point. I could be wrong. Maybe there's some rehoused lenses that I haven't seen yet. But for a prime at T2.1, and again, this is T, not F. So this is a far more precise way of using your aperture. And would I recommend it? Let's face it. If I could keep this, I would. And I would tell everyone who can get their hands on these lenses to go out and at least, if you don't do what I did, order it and then have to return it. But if you guys are serious about having a single lens for your kit, 50 millimeters is great across the board. 50 millimeters, quote unquote, standard focal length. So it's great from just having that tool there, but it's also great from the perspective of it's lightweight, it'll travel well, you can use it on, EF is one of the most common mounts that you can get conversions from Sony to Panasonic to, you know, Metabones makes speed boosters for every other mount to EF. So it's a great go-to lens. My only concern is that when I return this thing, I'm not going to be able to find it in stock because all you guys out there are going to go out and like go buy these things up. But I do encourage it. I think it's a great lens. Meike, you guys did amazing. And as you can tell, as I've been constantly repeating, I have to send it back. I got it through Amazon and I paid for it on my own. Meike had nothing to do with this production. Also, just so you guys know too, I did shoot on one quote unquote scientific-y thing on a test chart. So at 6 feet and 20 feet, the markings are spot on for focus. So go, if you can get your hands on this, if Lens Pro to Go or lensrental.com or any of those guys have this, go give it a test. I think it's well worth it. Not a lot of Chinese knockoff lenses really feel good, but I'll tell you the Meike really stood out. So you guys, please, again, like, subscribe, follow, do all of that. Help me build this community. And I got some more stuff coming down the line, the Tokina. I also, thank you to Scott Balcom, ordered the Aputure 60D, which should be here soon. We'll do an unboxing and then a review on that light too. And you guys, let me know what else. I also am planning on doing a review of the Kessler Cine slider. I had to send it back. It had a little issue that was taken care of immediately. These guys do not joke around. They were on it like that. So you guys, we got more coming, and I look forward to talking to you guys more.